Hello and welcome to an album a day, day 170, going through my vinyl collection, an album or so at a time. Today we are going back to 1984 to a band I've covered pretty extensively, one of my favorite bands, and I absolutely love this album. This was my introductory album to the band, although it was a little later in their catalog from when they started. I'm talking about Whitesnake, Slide It In. Interesting album cover, very suggestive. Obviously, we know enough about the band at this point to know what they're all about. So the album cover is not surprising, but it's fairly simple, but it kind of makes a statement, I think. Pretty well done. This is an Allied pressing from '84 on Geffen Records. Excuse me. And regardless of how anyone feels about David Geffen, he certainly put out some music with some great bands, that's for sure. The back cover, we get her back. There are images out there of more of this than we're seeing on the album cover, like from the actual shoot, which are pretty cool. There's a little bit better version of that. Obviously this copy's got a little bit of wear here in the corner. I don't know quite how that happens, but it did, and looks like somebody actually chewed on it. The rest of it's actually pretty good. A little bit of wear around the sleeves, not too bad otherwise. We do have this, all the lyrics and a little bit about the production, not very much, mostly the lyrics. Again, same body, same snake, different angle, but that's always nice. I just noticed, holding it in the light here, yeah, there's some ring wear, but there's also some kind of like weird thing, like somebody set a coffee cup on it, which I don't know how you do that. But this, besides being my introduction to Whitesnake, is actually one of my favorite albums, and it's a little bit mysterious to me. I haven't covered this album yet, but it's a little mysterious to me because based on the way that I like music, my neighbor's putting some kind of thing together and randomly banging a hammer every once in a while. Why I find this interesting is because I shouldn't like this album. This music is very repetitive, very straightforward, long repetitive choruses to the fade. It's everything that I typically don't like, but for some reason there's something about this combination of elements that I really like. Part of it might have been when I heard it, because I was pretty young. It came out in '84. I was 12, so that might have had an influence on it. Obviously, big love for David Coverdale when I first heard Whitesnake. So there could be other elements, but even to this day, with my taste in music as they are, I still enjoy this album very heavily. Really suggestive titles and songs, though. We open with Slide It In, great track. Killer riff, great way to open an album. I would say probably the best pick for opening track. Then we go to Slide It In, Slow and Easy, Love Ain't No Stranger, All or Nothing, and The Gambler. The Gambler is one of my favorites on here. I remember, I used to try and keep songs in my head, and when I was a kid, just because I enjoyed them and having certain experiences. Like I remember the first time my grandparents took us to the state fair, and I think it was the only time I ever went to the state fair, and in Michigan anyway. And they had this ride called the Casino. And if you'd ever been to Cedar Point and you'd been on the Swabinchen, it was, this lady, big plastic lady in the middle, and it's this just kind of a round thing with seats that face forward, and you just kind of go around, and then it, kind of tilts and does this as it goes around. Well, the Casino did that, and then it went backwards, which was really cool. And I had never been on the Swabinchen, but we really liked the idea of the Casino, so we went on that, and Gambler was what I had in my head. Of course, it's Casino. There's like, cards and suits and stuff on the side of it. So anyway, that's one of the memories that I always had of that very rainy, overcast day, and really cool, great memory. Then we go to side 2, Guilty of Love, killer track. I think they released a single and had a video for that. Hungry for Love, probably my least favorite, but still a great song. I mean, something's got to be last, right? Then we get to Give Me More Time. Love that one. The verses, the chorus is very powerful on that. Spit It Out. Another one I'm kind of like, it's a good song, but again, one I'm kind of like, all right, I really just kind of want to get through it, or I'll bypass it to get to the last one, which is Standing in the Shadow, which is my other favorite. Absolutely love that one. It's such an interesting combination of songs. I mean, obviously, very clear intent on the lyrics and all that, which I kind of do get bored with the concept of that, just because there's so much of it out there, you know. But the music construction is so great. You got Cozy Powell on drums. You can't go wrong with him. Even though he's playing pretty straightforward on this album. I mean, I don't think he really even needed to bring any rack toms to the session, but still very solid playing, you know, very solid. And the mix is fantastic. It's an excellent album. I highly recommend it. Maybe not around young children, but in general, it's a great album. So guys, check it out. Slide it in. Boom. We'll see you tomorrow for day 171. Cheers.